All right, good afternoon, everyone. So thank you for coming on time. Okay, so that's a very good for you. Okay, because nowadays I see people coming late. Never good, never a great first impressions. Okay, so today let's get started because I have a party to attend. So let's do it. Okay. Welcome. So we're gonna be staying together for 2 weeks. Although next week no class. Okay, as you might see from the schedule. So your class will be next year. So this is gonna be the first one, and then we'll skip, the New Year week, obviously, and then we'll continue later on. All right. But for you, we're gonna start. I have 2 topics for you here. Oh, by the way, I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Pisutha-Arnond. I work at the Industrial Engineering Department. What departments are you guys? Is there any, I guess, civil engineer? Okay, civil, so all civil, okay. Welcome, okay. So today we're gonna be doing the web application because for me, I love writing software. And I hope that maybe you can appreciate some of the things that we do, okay? And the lecture that I show here and all the documents that I'm going to show you later on can be accessed by the link on your right side, okay, top right, okay, you may access this link, okay. So at the beginning, can you turn on the computer and then we'll use it in no time, okay? Let's go. All right. Okay, so today we're going to be doing, get our hands dirty on the web application development. As I was telling you, software is my thing. I love writing software. I've been doing it for many, many years, okay? And when I say writing software, I mean writing web application, which is going to entail HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. And we'll do React next time, okay? I just want to get your hands up. Are you familiar with this already? If so, I will stop bothering you. Okay, so none of you, maybe you have used it in a very, very light to the small extent. All right, so we'll do it together today. All right. So when I say software, I mean web application. But let me kind of turn back, rewind a little bit, okay? Because when you say software, a few years back, software actually means different things, okay? Traditionally, when I say I write software, it usually means that I write software for the operating system. For example, I mean, nowadays, there's still software that you write for the operating system. For example, if I look into my Windows menu, I'm probably going to see, for example, Microsoft Office, right? This type of software, it's written, it runs on the specific operating system. For example, like this particular version of Microsoft Word run on Windows, okay? If you own a Mac, then you will probably have to buy another version that runs on Mac. And probably if you buy Linux, you have to get something else, right? And the good thing, I mean, I guess there's a reason that the software is, there's a benefit for software to run on the operating system directly in this manner because it talks to the operating system directly. So it can use the system resources in a more efficient way, okay? And when we talk about writing software, it has been like this for a long time, But then there is a glaring drawback in this type of software developments because as you might see, we have to write software for each operating system separately. And it actually required different teams because the underlying technology is different. For Windows, you have to know C#. So for Mac OS and iOS, you have to know Swift. And then Kotlin for Android, C++ for Linux. So if you want to, if you open a software company, and you have a great idea for product, you have to hire at least, a couple teams to do software for Windows, for Mac OS and Linux and things like that. So it's very costly, all right? And, along came a new way of writing software, which I refer to as the web application. I mean, this is not new because you use this all the time nowadays, right? So the web application is a software, but it's different from the other one I just mentioned because it runs on web browser. And You know, web browser is something that you use every day, right? Chrome, Edge, and things like that. Safari would be one of them, right? And it just turns out that the web application is the most widely used software in the world. So basically, every device in the world, in this world, probably is going to come with the web browser in some shape or form. So if you write the software that run on the web browser, which is the web application, it means that it can run everywhere in every device automatically. And that's a huge win. Okay, and this is why you probably see, right? A lot of the software, if it can, it will migrate to become web application. A very good example is Canva. So like when I was your age, and even when I was working, maybe like 10 years ago, everybody used PowerPoint. I mean, you know, old people still use PowerPoint nowadays, right? But then you guys use Canva, right? PowerPoint is written as the traditional software. It runs on Windows and Mac OS, different version. But Canva, they just developed one type of web application. It runs everywhere. And that's a huge win, right? So, and then another good example is Figma. So when I was at your age, we also used Adobe Illustrators for graphic design. And nowadays, people use it professionally, but then for anybody else in the world, they use Figma. It's much more convenient, right? And things like that. So I have seen the trend where software, if it can, it will be running on web browser. Okay, I guess the one that required really dedicated hardware, like a video editing software, you probably might be better off still running on the dedicated, the operating system. But for anything else, probably web application makes more sense, okay? And if you want to write, but the downside of the web application is that there's a middleman. So if your software want to use something, your system resource, it has to go through web browser, which is another abstraction layer that sometimes hinder the efficiency of utilizing the system resources, okay? So there are some trade-offs that you have to make, okay? But for everyday tasks, web application is pretty much a go-to solution, okay? And if you want to write things for web browser, you have to know the technology that underlies the web application, which is HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, which we will be doing all of this today. Let's go, okay? So first, we need a software to write some code, because you have to write some code, although it's not that hard, okay? It's pretty straightforward if you follow my example. Okay, so we're going to skip this one because I already installed this software for you. It's called VS Code. It's a code editing software, okay? So why don't we open it up? So can you search on your search bar and see if you have this, and you click on it. It looks like this. Okay? It's called VS Code. Think about this as the glorified text editor. Okay? Old people write software on the Notepad, but we don't do that anymore because Notepad is too bare bone. This one have bells and whistles to help you write code easier, more easily, I would say. All right, so next step, we're gonna do things. I'm gonna give you a little bit more details, and then we can just dive in. It's better to just dive in, okay? So first, we're gonna do HTML because that's the fundamental of any web applications, okay? HTML. This one stands for Hypertext Markup Language, okay? So first, it's a language, okay? Like the computer language that you probably learn, Python, that's another language, right? But HTML is different from Python in a sense that it is not a programming language. It's a markup language. So when you say markup language, it means that it cannot do calculations. It can only display something, because markup means that display, okay? And this is the standard language for telling the web browser what to display. That's all this is doing, okay? And you're going to find out very, very soon that with just HTML, things look very ugly. So we're going to have another technology to help with the styling. It's called CSS, okay? And then also, we want something that dynamic, interactive. And then you're going to use another technology called JavaScript to help it, okay? But let's get HTML first, okay? So when you write HTML, there is a syntax that you have to recognize. This is called a tag, okay? Tag, T-A-G, okay? A tag is a set of directive that tells the web browser to do certain thing for that particular content, okay? For example, I have this guy over here, okay? So notice there are open and closed brackets, and there are letters inside, okay? The letter tells you what type of tag this is, what type of behavior it is going to be, okay? So inside, you can see that there are opening and close. So the closed one, it has the forward slash in it, okay? And between the closing, opening and closing, there's a content, okay? So the content is a sentence, right? But then the tag tells the web browser to display this content in a certain way. For example, in this particular case, P called paragraph. So display this sentence as a paragraph on the page. That's how HTML tag behaves, okay? Okay, so that's all you need to know, pretty much, in order to write HTML, okay? Also, we will not be using this much in our time together, but I just want to mention that in addition to writing tag and content, there are also something called attribute, okay? So attribute is something that we input in the opening tag. So notice that the attribute that I show you lives inside the opening and closing bracket of the opening tag, okay? And this one tells the web browser about extra information, okay? You will be using just a couple ones today. And also, there is another type of tags that doesn't have the closing. It only has the opening and the closing combined together. So check this one out. I have another tag called image, right? You can see that there is the opening brackets, right? There's a closing bracket, but then it, like the whole thing, it's just one tag, right? It doesn't have the closing one right here. And this one is called the self-closing. It's almost like combining the opening and the closing together so that you can see that there is an extra forward slash in here. So this one is a special tag that doesn't require content. So you don't really need to have an opening and the closing. You just kind of combine them together. But what this one needs is actually the attributes, okay? This one is called image tag. And as you might have guessed, it's display image on the website, right? And it only needs to know the source, where the image is, and that's all. It doesn't need content. There's no content, just the source, something like that. All right, so done. Okay, so the last thing is that when you write HTML, there is a certain structure that you need to follow. For example, this is what is called the HTML documents, okay? There are different types of tags in here. I will tell you later on, but we're going to start with something like this, okay? So let's go. Okay, so first thing, I want you to have this VS Code open. Next up, I want you to create a folder on your desktop. Name it something, anything that you want. Okay, just name something. Name it like this. Next up, check this one out. I can do this. I'm going to place VS Code next to my folder, and I can do this. I'm going to drag my folder inside the windows. See this? And I let go. And notice what's changed, okay? First thing is, if you go to this icon that's called Explorer, it will have this particular name that actually matches the name on your folder. See, this one and this one, the same one. If that's the case, then you did it correctly. It means that you have set the workspace to be the right place. Okay, so first you have to set the workspace to be the location that you want first. So this is how you do. Okay, let me go back. Okay, if you want to exit this folder, all you need to do is to go to File and Close Folder. If you want to try, you can try this one. If you close the folder, that means you exit. You're not anywhere, but in particular. Okay, I'm gonna exit, close folder, and this one it said that no folder open. See, so that means I'm nowhere. Okay, I want to be somewhere, so I need to drag this one in here, so that I'm actually at the right location. Okay. Okay. So first, what we're going to do is this. We're going to create a file. To create a file, we're going to go to this icon. Okay. Click this icon once. And notice that you can type something. Type index.html. Okay. So take a note in this name of this name. It has to be this name exactly. Not for now. Now it can be any name, but later on you will be uploading to the public, I guess the deployment website, and it expects the name of the file to be index.html exactly like this. Okay, so the last step of this class will not work if you don't name the file exactly like this. Okay, so please take a note of this name. All right, index.html. Okay. The next step is we're going to create something like this, but we don't need to type anything because VS Code has the shortcut for us. The way to do is exclamation and tab. Done. Okay, let me do it again. I just type exclamation, shift 1, and then tab to get this boilerplate right away. Is that easy? It's very easy. Let me do it one more time for you guys. Okay, you just have to go to index.html, hit exclamation, and tab, and you're done. You got the boilerplate already set up to go. Tab. Tab is above cap lock. Pretty cool, right? I don't know. It's above cap lock. Right? It's above cap lock. Okay, you guys good? Okay, so please let me know if I go too fast. Okay, please do call me out for that because sometimes I did go too fast. Okay. A lot of time I did go too fast. But you guys, if you don't get this, I can go help you. Last call before I go. Okay, let's go. All right, so first thing you have to keep in mind is that this program do not autosave for you. You guys are the new generation where everything is autosave on the cloud. This is not the case, so you gotta save it. How do I know if I haven't saved my file? You check out this dot right here. This means not saving, so the change will not be displayed. Okay? The way to save is to go to File and Save. This guy over here. So first, you gotta save your change, man. Okay, so notice that if I hit Save, then the dot goes away. If I were to change anything in here, if I just hit spacebar, then the dot comes back. So make sure you saved. Okay, but as you progress through this exercise, you will see that hitting this, and this become very tedious and slow. A much better way is to use keyboard shortcut. It's going to be Control S. Check this one out. I hit spacebar, I hit Control S. Now it's saved. Okay. I guess for me in my generation, Control S is built into our muscle memory, because when you write everything, you have to save with Control S. But for you guys, might not be as intuitive. But trust me, Control S is your friends. Okay. All right. So once you did this, let's check one thing. Okay. Can you move your cursor between the body tag? Yeah, see the body tag, right? There's the opening one and the closing one. Just place this between, and then just type gibberish like this. Just type something in here. I want to check if it works first before we go in a more formal way. But right now, just put something between the body tag like this. And saved, right? Saved. All right. We want something like it. All right. So how do we open this file? Easy. Go back to your index.html, right click, and hit open with live server. And you'll see your stuff on the page. Okay. Okay, so let me show you what happened if you do this. Open with live server. Done. See? And you see your stuff on the page, right? So I want you to check with me one thing. I want this behavior to be true, okay? If I were to change anything in here and I hit save, it has to update automatically. Because this is how we develop things fast. We want things to change right away, right? That's how we do it. Okay? If I change anything in here, I hit save, it reflects my change right away. I want this behavior first before we go. Okay, now it's a good time to call for me, to call for help if you need help. My recommendation is to move your website to the other screen so that you have the full screen for code. And when you save it, the other one changes right away. That will be a good setup. Well, so before we go, last call. Everybody at this stage, call for me. Call for my help. Okay, I don't. Oh, I see hand. Okay. That's good. Let me pause the screen. Okay, there are many things that you need to make sure before it works, right? The first thing is to make sure that you copy this called link tag from page 22, place it between the head tag in your HTML file, this guy right here, right? Next step is to create a new file called style.css, which has to be the same name as this one, okay? And next stop, you're going to have to write some CSS syntax. And if you have time while we are waiting for your friends, feel free to change the color, right? There are many ways you can change. It's kind of fun, right? Just change it, save. Don't forget to save. And see your website change the color like that, like that. There you go, see? Much better, right? Much better, right? Much better. Hmm? Link? Okay, I can do it. Although I do suggest that you open my website, this one, to get the, so that from now on you can copy, right? Okay, but do you want to see the link right here? Where? Index, oh, index.html, okay, right here. Okay, okay. It's between the head tag. Okay, you gotta keep it inside the head tag. This is where you wanna, and usually you forgot to save. That's another common mistake. Forgot to save it. I recommend this here. What are we doing here? Okay. If nobody is calling for help, I will continue. All right, last call. All right. Okay, so let me talk to you a little bit about what are the syntax. Okay. Okay, right here. So what you just saw is we were able to change the background color. So why, right? So first thing you have to recognize that there is something called the selector, okay? And the selector just happened to be the same character as the HTML tag, right? When we say body, there's also a corresponding body tag in the HTML, right? And again, if you say P, then it means that you are going to style the paragraph tag in your HTML. That's what it means. Okay, you are selecting the particular tag from your HTML, and whatever you put between the curly braces is going to be the style that you want to apply, right? So in this particular way, you want the text in the paragraph to become red. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory, right? So the best way is to try it out, okay? So let's go back to our code, and let me show you how it works, okay? Like this. So I'm just going to open the CSS only, okay? And then I'm going to show you that things are changing. Okay, all right, okay. So the first thing, I usually don't like the website to be too colorful. I want to be the background to be light gray. I think that's the common choice. You know, not completely white, but a little bit colored. Okay. So let's try something else. Usually you want fonts to be, you have particular fonts. That's the big things that will change the look of your website. So why don't we say font family? Okay, so notice that it's actually autocompletes, right? Font and then family, okay? And it also, suggests some of the popular ones. So I might as well just choose arrow and show you this. Right now, the fonts are changed, okay? So better use the autocomplete version, okay? If you type it in, very easy to make mistakes, okay? Okay, so usually the font is the easiest thing to change the look of your website, right? Another thing is the size. Okay, so why don't we go for font size? Okay. Okay. So let me show you this. Usually font size has many units, but it's the same thing as when you would do if you were to, basically type documents, right? Like there are font size that go for 12, 6, 14, 16, 18, okay? So if I go for 16, what happened? Okay, pixel, okay. It's called 16 pixel fonts, right? you're going to notice that nothing changes because 16 pixel is the device standard, device default, okay? But if you go for something bigger, like 20, then it's bigger, right? If you go for something smaller, like 12, then it's smaller font size, okay? Okay? Although, I would, another tip from me is usually when I do font size, I don't do pixel because pixel is too specific. I usually do REM unit. So 1 REM, okay? Okay, so REM stands for the relative M unit, okay? So it's the M unit. So what is the M unit? M unit is the default of your device. If I say 1 REM, it's the default size. If I say 1.2, it's actually 20% larger than the default. This is a better way of specifying the font size because nowadays we have different devices that has different default, right? So we want to say just make it a little bit bigger than the default one. Wherever like, you know, whichever device opening this website, it's going to be 20% bigger, okay? Or you can even say it's going to be 80%, 20% smaller. So you go for 0.8 rem, something like that. So that's a better way of specifying the size nowadays due to multiple, you know, various devices and screen sizes, right? Okay, so I'm gonna keep it at 1, okay, 1 REM, okay. All right, so another thing we can do is maybe we want the text and everything to shift away to the right side, okay? We can say margin. So margin is a space next to your content, okay? If I say margin, again, you can do pixel unit, maybe like 20 pixel. And you can see that it's actually pushed to your right. Margin is space next to your content, right? If you want a really big margin, then it's gonna push thing. Actually, it pushes thing to the right and down because it has a top margin and the left margin, right? You can even do left and right, top and bottom by doing 2 number. Maybe I can do 50 and 30. So I think the 30 is gonna be top and bottom, and then 50 is gonna be left and right, something like that. So you can do 2 number if you want, okay? Okay, so next let's target another thing, all right? For example, I want to target H1, okay? H1 is your biggest heading, right? So let's say I want to change the color. This one should be red. Not a good idea, but you certainly can, right? Or you can even say, I want to do something else, text decoration. I always forget CSS. I usually look it up. I don't remember everything off of my head, okay? But yeah, text decoration. So you can do something like this. Okay, text decoration, like that, right? And I can do underline, and then I got underline text, okay? So usually I don't remember. I just kind of know just a little bit, and then I used to look it up. Okay, it's not that complicated. Okay, okay. Or you know, this is a pretty bad choice. Okay, so I'm gonna say maybe darker gray, or maybe a little bit blue, darker blue. That may be a better choice, right? And you're gonna see that right now I only target my H1, right? But if I want to do H2, another choice would be to H2 right here, right? And then I can do another color. Maybe I just copied it here so that my color for H2 matches that for H1. I don't think I want the underline. Okay, so I'm going to delete it. Okay, I just do like this. Okay. Although, as you can see that right now we're having duplicate codes, which is actually not not the best way forward. Okay, so instead of doing this, I'm going to delete this, okay, and then I'm going to do comma h2, okay, and you can see that if I do h1 comma h2, it means that both of them get this style, okay, and actually don't just stop for that, because I actually have another heading tag right here, which is h3, so I'm going to do comma and h3. Because now I can style everything to be the same color. So when I change it, then everything changes. So that's a better idea, a better way forward. Okay. Okay, we should do something about the list, shall we? Okay, so let's do li. We should do something about the list. I always forgot what's the attribute for the list. CSS list style. I think it's called list style. Yep, list style right here. Okay, list style. So let's check it out. Okay, list style, okay, and style, okay, I think let's see square, yeah, like that, see, maybe something like dot, circle. So circle is the a hollow one, something like that. So you can change your list style like this, or you can even say if you don't want list style, you don't want the dot, then you can say none, I think. Yeah, if it's none, then it's gone, something like that. Okay, so you do it something. This is how you kind of make your website changing the style. Okay, I think I should go back to my blue. I like blue. Okay. 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 What else? I think my the image needs some love, because usually nowadays everything is rounded corner. If you want to go back to a pixel, you're going to see that too, right? Like all the style in here, you see this rounded corner. We can do this one very easily, okay? Okay, so we're going to do img, okay? So image tag, okay? And for the image, I want to do, it's called the border radius, okay? And maybe I'll go 10 pixels. And right away, my image looks more rounded. Okay, so maybe I'll leave this in for now. Okay, I wanna move on. Okay, so you guys are up to this speed, everyone, up to speed. Okay, all right. So we can go pretty much in depth in CSS. It's required the whole maybe even multiple classes. So you want to go in depth and really make it nice. But this is something AI is pretty good for. If you ask AI, make the button rounder and things like that, it usually helps you pretty well when you ask them like this. Okay, so just write CSS for me to make things like that, and then it usually split things out for you. So, and sometimes you learn from that response to you. Okay, all right. So right now, our website looks semi-decent, right? But right now, there are a couple things that missing because it's very static. Static meaning that it doesn't change anything through the interaction. So I want to make it more fun, okay? So more interactive, okay? And that's the job for JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript is programming language. So this is the real deal now, okay? So it's like Python, basically. Like you can use JavaScript to do calculations. And by the way, this is not Java. Like JavaScript and Java is a totally different beast, okay? JavaScript is another language completely. All right, so you can use JavaScript to make dynamic content on your website. For example, content update, that's pretty common. Animation, maps, audio, and video. So basically, any web application, I would say that all web applications require JavaScript because you need to be able to interact with the page, not just a virtual page, okay? So that's the job for the real developers to use JavaScript, okay? All right, so you can try something fun with your website. For example, you're gonna have to set it up first. In order to do that, let's just copy this line, shall we? Easier than typing, right? So go to page 31 and copy, and then we're gonna paste it in the header tag or head tag again. See, I just placed it in here. Remember that we're gonna use the head tag, not the body tag, okay? And don't forget to save it too, like that, okay? Next job, we are going to create a JavaScript file. So it's gonna be called script.js, okay? And keep in mind that the name is specific because I want this name, okay? I want this name to be the same exactly like this name. The name has to match. And that's why it has to be specific, okay? Script.js. So pay attention to the spelling, okay? Okay? Once you're done, then we can try something fun, okay? Now you can type it yourself. It's a short code, okay? So I'm gonna type alert, and then within the quotations, hello. That's all. That's all. Feel free to change this text, okay? But the rest, keep it like this. And if you saved, don't forget to save, okay? And open your website, you're gonna see that something come up like this guy right here. And it even says hello, okay? If it doesn't work, then there are many things that can go wrong. You can try debug yourself, or you can call for me. I'm pretty good at that. I've been doing it for a long time. Okay, so as you might have guessed, alert is a command that alerts things on the page, right? And you're gonna find out that this is a pretty annoying code, right? It makes the website unresponsive every time you refresh, right? If you refresh, then it come up. You have to click OK. You refresh it again, come up, which is pretty annoying. So don't do this. Okay, this one just for a test, okay? Okay, but something that can be a little bit more fun. Okay, so we're gonna copy another code from page number 33, shall we? There are two things you're gonna copy it, okay? The first one is the button, okay? So the button parts, I'm gonna copy this one. So this one goes into your HTML file, okay? So I'm going to go back to my index.html, and I'm going to paste that button part. So for me, usually I was just going to delete this one. This one is kind of useless, right? So the part where it say contact me, let me just place a buttons in here, okay? It's like that. Okay, so just place the button somewhere on your page, okay? That's the first step, okay? The next step is I'm going to go back to my code on page 33. copy the code, and then now I'm gonna paste it in the JavaScript. So script.js, I'm gonna actually just replace everything. Okay, you can replace it. It's just it's useless, right? The first code, nobody wants it, but this one is more fun. Okay, so I'm gonna replace. I'm gonna click save. Okay, and if it works, can you go and click on the button and see what happened? I will not click it for you, but you will see what happened. Okay, let me show you one more time, okay? Okay, I will slow down, okay? Okay, so example number, so forget about this one. This one is very annoying. Nobody wants this code, so we're gonna replace it, okay? So we can go straight to number 2, okay? So number 2, you need 2 things. You need the button tag in your HTML, okay? So this one, can you copy it? And I'm gonna paste it in the body tag in my HTML file, okay? So notice that I have stuff in my body, right? And usually I'm just gonna do the one at the bottom, okay? You can even delete the button that you have earlier and just replace with this one, okay? That's the first step. The second step is to copy the code. So this one goes to script.js, okay? So script.js, and just delete everything that you have before and just paste it in and saved. And now can you go into your website and just try clicking it? Okay, let me just show you, right? You can see that it's actually changed the content on your page dynamically, right? Okay, I can do it again. Okay, very slow. Okay, okay. You guys need to be at page 33. Okay. I'm gonna copy. Okay, when I copy, you can do Control C, or even you can do this too. Copy, copy. Okay. I'm gonna go back to my index.html, and I need this line to be anywhere between the body tag. Anywhere in the body tag. Okay. Why don't we just place at the bottom? Okay, like this. But it has to be in the body tag. Okay. Okay, so that's part 1. Part 2 is to copy the code again. This one is going to be into the script.js. So I'm going to do copy. I'm going to go back to my script.js. I'm going to delete and paste a new one. Saved. And you're done. Okay? And now it's fun. It's fun time. Really. This is cool, right? Okay. If you cannot make it work, you can call for help, because I'm pretty good at debugging your code. You can call for me. It usually takes a couple seconds for me to detect the problem. Ma, let me help you.
And save all the
You forgot to copy this part. This part.
Oh, hit up.
Like that. That's all you need. There you go.
Thank you.
You just call for me, okay? And I usually can help you, okay? You forgot to save first. Save first.
Control S.
Yes. Okay, and then this one too. Okay. Okay, next step, can I check this one? You forgot the script.js part. Okay, so let me announce this one to the class. Okay, from what I saw, I think I might go too fast on this page right here. There's a setup. You need this one too. This one goes into your header tag. Okay, head tag, not header. So make sure that you have this one in your index.html. See, I have this one. You need this line. Okay? Might be the problem. Just want to let you know first. Okay? From include this one too. Okay, here to here. Yep. Can you paste? Yes. Click. Yes, it works. See? It's not that easy. It's not that hard, right? Okay. All right. But you know, we should pay. I should teach you a little bit about what's going on, right? Instead of just blindly copy things, maybe you can try to understand. This is not a JavaScript course. Like JavaScript takes a long time to learn. But if you can kind of identify what's happened, I think that's good enough for now. Okay. So, what is this doing, right? The first thing is that there's a functions in here. What function? In Python, this is equivalent to def, right? When you in your Python, you write function, you use a keyword called def. Similar, same thing. This is a function in JavaScript. It uses the keyword called function. Okay. What functions do is that it's just a block of code that will get executed when it gets called, right? It's the same thing with Python. If you declare a function, it doesn't run until you call it, right? You just call the name with the parentheses. That's calling the function. Same thing. So when you open the website, right, the script will run. This part doesn't do anything yet, but it registers the function into the memory. Okay? The next step is we're going to create a variable. This is a variable, like in Python. Okay? This variable stores the reference to the element that has the ID btn. Okay? So what is the ID btn located at? If I go back to my index.html and go to the button that you just copied, you see this one, ID equal btn. So we have already tagged this tag. Okay, we have already identified this button tag as btn. Okay, by using this special attribute called the ID attribute. Okay, so when we go to the script.js, we can now locate that particular element with the ID btn. So essentially, this is the reference to our button that we are about to click. Okay? So we get the reference now. And then the next step is we're going to use the button and we add what's called the event listener. Okay? So think about this. When you use a web browser, when you interact with the web, when you type keyboard, when you move the mouse around, when you click, actually the web browser actually detect all of your movement and register it as the event. Okay, you click something, you move your mouse, that's called the event, right? And we're gonna say the button is gonna actually listen to a particular event that you do. It's called click. Okay, so when you click the button, that's when the button actually detects something is going on, and then it's gonna fire up the action. So this is the action. It's called create paragraph, right? But what is this? This is actually what you just declare it up here. This is the function. Okay? And this function, what it does is actually doing similar things, but this one is creating a p tag right here. It's creating the p tag. and then it adds the text in here, and then it append that particular tag into the body. Okay, so it's as if you were to type that particular p tag into your HTML code and run it again, but this one is done by the code. Okay. All right, so I know that I spit a lot of words in here. If you don't catch everything, that's fine, but I just want to tell you that everything can be explained, like why did it happen like this? And that's the part where if you were to do this seriously, you need to understand the code, okay? But for now, can we change? If you change something and it behaves like you expect, I think that's a good sign, okay? So why don't we change this part? Change this part to something else and see if it actually changes when you click the button. Yeah, I think it feels more empowering if it changes the way you expect, right? Or not? I need to see this one first. Okay, you got this one. Okay, next stop, can you do this one? Okay, that's the button. Okay, can you, I want to see this one. Okay, everything seems right, but doesn't work when you click it. Okay, hold on. The name is wrong. script.js. It cannot find this. Oh, button is not defined. You should not change this one. It should say button. You have to do button exactly. No. The button, this two has to be the same. The ID is here, which is here. So you should not change this one. This is okay. No, you need to change. But I want you to change this one.
Oh, okay. Just here.
Yeah. Can you try changing it? But that's good. That's a good exercise. Okay, so let me show you what happened if I change the text, right? So I'm going to say, hi, hello, okay? And if I go back to my web and then I click it, then the text changed. Okay, so at least, if it behaves like you expect, then I think you have more understanding of what the code does, okay? Okay, so another thing that can be cool is I'm going to change the way that we interact with the button, okay? So instead of click, what do we change to? DBL, click. And check out this one, DBL click. This is called double click. And when you go back to your web, you have to double click in order for things to change. You cannot click anymore. Okay? And this is called the event. So when you double click, there's an event occurring in the on the web browser. Actually detect that events, and then it registers in here. Okay? Did you spell like this? Okay, I could be wrong. Let me just check for me first. Okay, I'm going to double click. Okay, I think you misspell. You might misspell. Okay, another fun thing is, let me say, mouse enter. Okay, let me check. Events, mouse enter. Mouse enter. Okay, let's check this one. This one fun. Okay, I'm going to say mouse enter. And check this one. You might have guessed what it's going to do, right? Try it. Mouse enter. And now you don't even need to click, right? Now you just move your mouse inside, right? And then it's actually react right away. And you can see that this kind of behavior, you can design it so that your web can respond to your user in a certain way, right? All right, so let's just do one more exercise before we go, shall we? So this one, it's kind of fun, okay? So again, you don't have to copy the button because the button's already there, right? But you can just replace the existing code with this one, which is kind of, it's a dirty joke. So that's all. Yeah? Is that cool? That's another fun thing, right? Okay, so or you can change things accordingly if you want, okay? And feel free to change your text to suit your personality, okay? Okay, so mouse over and mouse enter pretty much do the same thing. You just to detect the mouse goes over, okay? Okay, so up to this point, you have experienced HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, right? Although very basic, it's the foundation for everything else that's happening nowadays in terms of application that you do on the website, okay? The last thing I want you to do for today is actually to publish it, because right now, it only exists on your local computer, but I want this to be online, to be accessible everywhere. And you can show this to your family today and your friends today, okay? So let's do that. And you're gonna see how easy it is to publish things on the web, right? Although, keep in mind that this is your personal information. If you want to remove your personal information for any reason, please do it now. Because once it's on the web, it's public. So if you have anything that you don't want to show, remove it right now before we go, okay? If not, we're gonna proceed, shall we? Okay, so in order to publish it, we call it deployment. Deploy meaning make it in production, okay? Go to this website and can you register for an account? Please, Netlify. Okay, this is how it looks like once you sign up. It looks like this. Okay, but take some time to sign up, so take your time. You can use your Google Gmail. Don't need to use CMU. Okay. Okay, so during the sign up, do not put in your credit card. Okay, this one is supposed to be free. So if it asks for your credit card, do not do it. Okay, I need to, can you remove this pin?
Without.
Just click somewhere maybe. Or can you just click here? Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Nope, nope. Okay, so this is where, oh, interesting. So you use it already. Okay, so you're not the best candidate for this. I need to do another screenshot. I want the fresh one because it looks different. Okay, yeah, so that is a better one. Let me just take picture.
แล้วก็ได้ถ้าเป็นเว็บไซต์เว็บ3.0นะครับหรือว่าเว็บแอป
กดไปเถอะ
Doesn't really matter. Wait, how to use it? Okay. You are supposed to see something like this for the fresh one. Usually, if for the first time, it usually looks different from the one that has been used before. So if this is the fresh one, it's going to look like this. So good.
พอใส่อันนี้เป็นใส่อันนี้ไฟล์มันไม่เห็นขึ้นอันเนี้ย
ดู iMac ไหม
I think that's okay.
ทีมชื่อตัวเองใช่ไหม
ดู SF อ่ะ
No, works.
SF อ่ะ
Okay. I didn't do anything. Yeah, you're good. You're good. Okay, I'm gonna keep going first because after this, you guys can check, do the attendance. It takes some time. So, and for those who still sign up, I'll repeat this again. Okay, don't worry. All right. So, this is where you can upload your file. So I want you to click here. Click here. And let me see what happened after you click it. Okay, so you're going to choose your folder. Okay, so what you want to choose, okay, let me show. You're gonna see something like, let me see. Okay, this is the different, but you are going to be, prompt with the folder. So you're gonna choose your folder. I want you to go to your desktop and choose HTML. Okay, so you want to choose the whole folder. You don't want to go inside that folder. Choose the whole folder and just press upload. And that's it. That's all you have to do. Okay, so pick, again, hit browse to upload, right? And then pick the folder that you create at the beginning. And that's it. Okay? Like this, I'm going to hit upload and upload, okay? So your screen doesn't look like mine because mine already used, but the fresh ones usually look different. So that's why I have to do it. But after you did that, then you're going to be greeted with this, and you see that there's a link right here. You try clicking on it, and if something like your website come up, then congratulations, your website is now online. Okay? And you can go. See, my website is online. Now you can give this link to anyone in the world. It works. Okay, and if you show me something like this, you can go. And going meaning you have to check the attendance because that's your point. Okay? Without this, you cannot sign in your name. Okay? Yay. Okay, hold on. Before we go any further, before everyone goes into commotion, I want to tell you the schedule first, okay? Because your schedule is a little different than the other sessions. Before we go, okay? And then I'll let you guys go, all right? So, take a note that for here, you guys are right now here, okay? And there's no class next week, so you guys can go home, go wherever, take vacation. But on the week after, it's gonna be different instructor, okay? And you're gonna see me again afterwards. So please go to the new instructor first. And then we'll come back to finish up what we left off. Hopefully it still, remain in your memory, okay? But we'll do that later. Okay, so keep that in mind. Do not come next week. Nobody's here. Okay? Okay, now you can either show me your website or you can take my help. Okay. Yes. Yes, you're correct. Okay, hold on. Okay. Okay. Good job. You may go. Are you done? Okay. Okay. Hold on, let me stop